Greetings, One Love Rastafari. Greetings to all your reggae massive and Afrobeaters and dancehall masses and, Africans and Rastafarians and Jamaicans. And of course, greetings, Buju Banton. One Love Rasta. It was good to see you. It was good to see you in the interview. Very entertaining. It's clear to see that you have love for all of us, love for yourself, and love for the Almighty, and that you're chosen by the Almighty, a good storyteller, and all of that. It's all good. It's all good. You're a brother, right? You're a brother. So I'm answering you like a brother. So first of all, I'd like for the love to be real, amongst all of I and I. See, my face is not vexed. I'm just happy. See, I'm talking to Buju. Thank you very much for for launching this discussion that is going on now everywhere. You can see people are answering in different forums, different platforms. People have taken an interest in what you said, and people are answering in different ways. So, in that sense, you're the catalyst to a discussion that is long overdue, and I think only good is going to come out of it. Only good. Well, I'm making sure that good continues to come out of it. So one love Rastafari and this and that. What am I gonna say now? Well, like I say, you said what you said, and people are divided in their answers. You know. So to me, it brings a question to the fore, and quoting yourself, right? You say you're not a king. You say you're a servant of the people, right? Fine. But whether you're a king or whether you're a servant of the people, what I'm about to say, it applies in the same way. You understand? And to illustrate what I'm going to say, I'm going to take the example of Bob Marley, right? If you go see anywhere online where there's any Bob Marley statement, see the comments beneath that statement, you will see that everybody supports what Bob said. Okay. Now, what you said in the interview, if you go look at the comments, you'll see some people say this and other people say that. So you can see the function and the result. What is the result? It's a question of when Bob Marley is asked the question, you can see clearly that Bob Marley knows what he wants to answer or what is his personal thing. Right? But instead of just answering immediately, Bob takes time to think about the consequences of what he's going to say because he knows the words have power, right? So you can see Bob picking carefully. And what is at work there is the wisdom of the Proverbs in the Bible, and the Psalms, that is at function because of that natural wisdom that makes Bob Marley the king. And it's for leadership. So I want to ask you, when you see yourself as a leader or as a servant, as a servant or as a king, the comments and the way they were put forward about Afrobeats, they're not responsible. As an individual, it's good, it's okay, it's your opinion, it's you. It's you, Buju. You're a free man. You're the individual. The question is whether you are taking on leadership or not. That's the issue. Are you speaking as a leader or are you speaking as an individual? The amount of people that are following you tells me that you need to consider looking at yourself as a leader. But if you're going to embark on that way as a leader, then definitely what you need is comments that are going to bring agreement and not disagreement amongst the people. That's my point, what I gotta make first. So I want to know clearly, like, where you're coming from in terms of, like, How do you see yourself? You see yourself as a leader, you see yourself as an example, fine. But if you're a servant, then who are you a servant to? Are you a servant to some of the people, or are you a servant to all the people? You know, so again, it's the same thing. For king or servant is the same thing. It has to do with the people, right? Yeah. So having said that, I can tell you that I disagree with your point of view, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I just don't see why you expect of Afrobeats to deliver the thing which reggae has already delivered. You know, why you want Afrobeat to leave its lane of entertainment, of being pop music, of fulfilling the moment of instant gratification and those things. That's what has built it. That's what its core base has made. That is the product. Those are the ingredients that the people want. You know, it is there. The response is there because of what the people have chosen to put in there. People are simply responding to the music and the lyrics and the scenarios that represents the people's aspiration and dreams at the moment. Uncomplicated, you know, because trying to achieve the level of freedom from exploitation and subjugation and discrimination and everything that Africa is going through, it is a constant struggle. You need to take a break just for your own sanity. You know, just for your own sanity. And I'll go back to Bob Marley again. Bob says, forget your troubles and dance. Forget your sickness and dance. It's a psychological situation that you end up in as a person. You don't have to go make sense. You don't have to, you know, you just need to vent. And sometimes venting comes in you seeing a scenario, building a scenario, making a movie. What do you think Wakanda, Black Panther, and those type of movies are? You know, it's to give people a chance to exhale and breathe a little, and tomorrow is another day, you know. Rise or fallen fighters, rise and take your stance again. He who fight and run away, live to fight another day. You know, there's a time to take a break. There's a time for everything. Everything has its time and season, you know. So this is a time of season Afrobeats, and it's a time of season for Africans to say, hey, let us flex in affluence. Let us flex in good time. Let us flex in something that represents our true wealth, because, you know we have the gold, we know we have the oil, we're not enjoying it. Other people are taking it to their countries, and we can't even get a visa to go to those countries and enjoy our wealth. You know, but we know it's ours. Let us enjoy the reality of what is our heritage, greatness, and, you know, really, I've seen some pictures of you. What was the name of the album? Is it Born for Greatness? And all of that. You know what I mean? The bling and all of that. Why would the people in the hip hop wear the bling? People used to do that to people in hip hop. Why are they wearing gold and people in Africa are suffering and blah, blah, blah. I used to say to people, shut the fuck up. There's enough gold in Africa for all of us to wear gold chains. You know, when people used to criticize our leaders and say, oh, the leader is a millionaire and this nigga plane, I said, shut the fuck up. You see all the planes you have over here in America? That's our planes. That means that, you know, there's more than enough for our leaders to have an aeroplane. There's more than enough. There's no time for playing games when it comes to this. You know, Christ promised us a life of abundance, you know, life of abundance, you see. These are the promises, and God will deliver those promises. You have to show that kind of aspiration. Love songs, love, sex. Adam and Eve were put in the garden for that purpose. We're only fulfilling the purpose that Jah made Adam and Eve to live. To live, go forth and multiply and have children, you know. If you have 17 children, brethren, you know what that's about, you know. So, My brother, so you see, I disagree with you. The other point I disagree is songs of freedom, songs of hope and aspiration. And point number one, you, okay, let's say, let's put it this way. You challenge us to come forth with just one Afrobeat song that gives people hope, that explains that the troubles are many, but there's hope at the end of the tunnel, or something like that. To that means, right? Because you say reggae has done that, and you say just one Afrobeat, and I tell you all of them do that. The simple reason, the simple fact that Afrobeat exists is testimony to the fact that we believe that there's hope at the end of these struggles. There is not a single Afrobeats producer, arranger, dancer, videographer, or whatever you want to call them, all of them who put the effort into coming up with that end product, who does not know that we have X amount of troubles, and we've got to believe in the we are all involved in that, and all of us can write that song. Each one of us in Africa have our own private song for that purpose. It doesn't have to be put out there and somebody become a big star off of it. The song of hope and overcoming is in our hearts, and it's always been there. It was in the hearts of the people when they were on the slave ships. It is what has become reggae. It is there constantly. It is there, and even you just say something, you just say, and there's no lyric. I don't know, is it that you want the lyric to be specifically the way you put it in lyrics, so therefore you must have the lyric in English? Because maybe the lyric is there in a different language, but it's not in English or in Patois, so you don't have a chance to know that those songs exist. Like seriously, brethren, now on that one, I don't know, brethren. No, man, it's like, I'd say it's like you have a nice sports car and it's skidding, and you're trying to get the sports car back on track, and I say, yeah, man, just keep on. Eventually you'll get it back on track. But if you need a push, I'll push it in the right direction, because now, man, you're out skidding there. You're skidding, my brethren. You're skidding. It's a lot of skidding. That's what I got to say. You're skidding, brother. So that's my thing. And one more thing I want to add to that is that Afrobeats has never taken on that role of saying that, look, we are the ones to deliver the message. No. Afrobeats has not said that, hey, we are Rasta. Afrobeats has never taken on that role. As you say, reggae is the king's music. So it is the role of the king's music to provide that guidance and provide that truth for all. It's not the role of the king's music and musicians to say, oh, this, you don't do this and you don't do that. And that's not the role. The role of the king's music is to do what the king's music does, and to do it perfectly and to do it right. If the king's music does its work right, there won't be no need for any other music to fulfill that role. So by the time we're pointing fingers at other music to fulfill the role of the king's music, it kind of like tells us that we have not done the king's music well. We're not doing it well enough. That's how I see it.